And statement that was made by Bloomberg not too long ago is causing a stir in the world of finance. They are forecasting a very significant increase in the value of XRP, claiming that it may rise to levels that are higher than $60,000. The bold comment was made by a Bloomberg consultant who compared XRP to Bitcoin in the financial business. This statement comes directly from the Bloomberg advisor. Bloomberg's business analysts have shown their acceptance of this conjecture by giving it their stamp of approval. In other words, we are not only speculating here. The foundation for this is the insights that come from a reliable source. The speculation that the value of XRP may skyrocket to an astounding $60,000 is slowly but surely gathering momentum. Ripple recently made a public proclamation of their intention to establish XRP as the cryptocurrency of choice for the banking industry, which is comparable to what Bitcoin represents in the broader market. This follows on the heels of his announcement. These are not only gossip or statements made in passing remark. During a live television broadcast, a Bloomberg advisor made a public acknowledgement of their existence. However, the most recent relationship that Ripple has formed with the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, often known as ISDA, is a game changer. They have the intention of utilizing the XRP ledger in order to manage transactions that are worth an astounding $1.2 quadrillion. It is possible that in order to manage such quantities, a base price of about $10,000 per XRP would be required. In today's video, which is packed with features, we are going to go deeply into all of these recent advancements. Hello members of the Moneyside family, your reliable source for everything and everything pertaining to XRP. Please do me a favor and press the like button, hit the subscribe button, and turn on alerts so that you may become a part of our community before we delve in. By the way, after we reach 60,000 subscribers, we are going to be giving away an incredible amount of XRP. It is not difficult to enter the competition. All you need to do is follow these 3 basic procedures. Therefore, you should make sure that you accomplish all of that. Make sure to reserve your position by using the hashtag Moneyside in the comments section. This video is all about the excitement that Bloomberg has created with their projection that XRP could possibly reach an astounding $60,000 in a very short amount of time. That prediction was made by Bloomberg. In order to get things started, we are going to introduce the groundbreaking idea that Ripple is forming major collaborations across a variety of financial and institutional landscapes. In the beginning of this video, we discussed the International Swaps and Derivatives Association, often known as ISDA, as well as Ripple's ambitious aim to manage more than $1.2 quadrillion. However, this is only the tip of the iceberg, as our primary focus has been on developments in Europe and North America. The reach of Ripple's effect, on the other hand, surpasses these locations by a significant margin. It is important that we do not forget continents like as Africa, where Ripple is making considerable progress. Through its partnership with Onfric, Ripple intends to bring about a revolution in the field of cross-border payments in Africa. There are more continents outside Africa that are included in this program. Transactions between Africa and a number of other important locations are going to be made easier as a result of this. Imagine a world in which Ripple's platform enables frictionless cross-border payments not only between nations in Africa, but also between countries in the Gulf Cooperation Council, the United Kingdom, and Australia. The amount of global financial interconnectedness that we are witnessing right now is unparalleled, and in today's action-packed video, we are going to break down all of these fascinating developments. Come with me as we explore even more into this intriguing subject. The financial news outlet Bloomberg, which is a prominent participant in the industry, has brought up the possibility of Bitcoin and more specifically XRP beating Bitcoin on many occasions. Certainly this is hardly a novel story. This is a recurrent topic, particularly with regard to their mention of the $60,000 price threshold for XRP. Even while some people would consider this to be recent news, it is not. The conjecture is not new, we have seen it before. In a remarkable example, Bard AI has confirmed that Forbes, another behemoth in the financial news arena, previously published an article with the headline, "The new Bitcoin is XRP and it's headed to $59,472. This highlights the fact that Forbes is a major player in the financial news industry. It's interesting to see that this item was removed within a few minutes after it was published. There is more to this information than simply rumor. It has been validated by a number of different artificial intelligence systems, including as ChatGPT and others. The alignment that can be seen in these reports is something that is extremely significant. Both the Bloomberg study and the Forbes piece, which has since been removed from the internet, indicate to a trajectory that is comparable for XRP. This trajectory shows that it has the ability to not only compete with Bitcoin, but also to exceed it. This is important, especially when one considers that Bitcoin reached its all-time high of almost $60,000 USD. A compelling new dimension has been added to the ongoing conversation regarding the potential value of XRP as a result of the confluence of these observations from reputable financial sites. it is of the utmost importance to investigate the fundamental factors that lie behind these audacious predictions. Why are reputable financial publications such as Bloomberg and Forbes, although for a short period of time in the case of Forbes, indicating that XRP is seeing such a massive rise? It is not enough to merely speculate about this. The increasing confidence in the market for digital currencies, and more especially in the potential role that XRP may play in that market, is reflected in this. Comprehending the one-of-a-kind position that XRP holds inside the ecosystem of digital currencies is the paramount factor. On the other hand, in contrast to Bitcoin, which is frequently seen as a digital gold and a store of wealth, XRP is establishing itself as a facilitator of cross-border transactions. Its collaborations and technological improvements are oriented toward making worldwide transactions more expedient, less expensive, and more effective. It is especially important to keep this in mind in the modern linked world, where international commerce and finance play a significant role. Furthermore, the technological foundation of XRP, which is powered by Ripple's blockchain technology, is built for scalability and speed, which addresses some of the restrictions that Bitcoin is subject to. Because of this, XRP is an appealing choice not only for individual investors but also for financial organizations who are aiming to simplify their processes. When we read forecasts that XRP will reach or beyond $60,000, it is not just a number that is being tossed around, that is being thrown around. This is a reflection of the potential influence and value that XRP might bring to the financial system on a global scale. XRP should be regarded not only as a different cryptocurrency but rather as an instrument that may bring about revolutionary change in the world of finance. As we continue to observe the development of digital currencies, it is abundantly evident that XRP is a significant player that we should keep an eye on. It is possible to construct a picture of a vibrant future for XRP by considering the congruence of insights from Bloomberg and Forbes, as well as the technology breakthroughs and strategic relationships of Ripple, to stress the trend that we are witnessing in the financial news industry, particularly with regard to the instance of the Forbes article on XRP that was validated by Bard AI. It is essential to emphasize the pattern. Even though it was only published for a short time, this article was shortly withdrawn. However, this is not an isolated occurrence. There is a pattern that we are observing in which financial news sites, particularly those that have strong links to industry elites, publish groundbreaking pieces regarding cryptocurrencies such as XRP, only to retract them shortly after they have been published. It raises questions about the rationale behind these abrupt removals and the quiet that follows after they have occurred. The effect of this phenomena is not confined to Forbes alone. When it comes to the comment that the Bloomberg advisor made on XRP, we are witnessing a situation that is quite similar. The fact that this information has been broadcast and verified does not change the fact that it appears as though there is a purposeful attempt to minimize or even silence it. Reports and publications that cover XRP are being pulled from public access, which is developing a pattern of censorship and secrecy in the cryptocurrency market. What is going on behind the scenes is something that one can't help but think about. Could you please explain why there is a reluctance to keep these conversations concerning XRP in the public eye? A perfect example of this is the filing that BlackRock made for the iShare XRP Trust Exchange Traded Fund ETF. In spite of the fact that this was a big action, it did not receive the attention that it demanded. This trend of removal and quiet is obscuring the fact that such a significant financial institution is taking moves toward integrating XRP, which ought to be top news but is instead being overshadowed by similar actions. This tendency of omitting information and keeping it quiet generates more questions than it does provide answers. What are the repercussions that these activities brought about? The public is being kept in the dark about these key changes in the realm of cryptocurrencies, particularly with regard to XRP. Why is there such an attempt to keep the public blind? The fact that many confirmations are pouring in concerning BlackRock's connection with XRP, only to have these stories abruptly denied as incorrect, is a fascinating turn of events that we are watching right now. This is in spite of the fact that respectable sources, including as the press page of the Delaware state government, have provided unambiguous confirmation that an XRP ETF trust